Hi all, my name is Stela and I used to be one of the EVS Ljubljana Pride volunteers. I still claim that to be one of the great experience of my professional life, to be very honest. But besides being a Ljubljana Pride volunteer, I also worked as a debate coach around the world, working with communities from India all the way to the US. Obviously, I worked mostly with debate communities coming from Southeastern European circuit, since I myself am from that region. But the principle was basically the same. Debate is a type of sport that teaches you how to constructively talk to a person who's not necessarily agreeing with you or sharing the same belief with you. In theory, the debate itself is also teaching you how to build arguments and understand the side that you yourself are not agreeing with. Debate round, for example, you don't know which side are you going to get 15 minutes before the debate starts. So you can find yourself defending values and principles that you personally don't agree with. That said, debate culture can often help us in everyday life when we're trying to understand why is a certain person not agreeing with us? Where is a certain person coming from? And things that can naturally shape us, build our narratives, and help us engage with people in a meaningful conversation without offending anyone and with making sure that every side is being listened out. So, first thing that I think should be emphasized is knowing your audience. If you ask yourself who is the person that you're talking to, where do they come from, why are they thinking the specific thought that they're thinking, why are they thinking in the way that they're thinking, is there reasoning behind it, and a bunch of other questions can be asked about the person that you're going to engage with. Knowing your audience means that you can adapt your content to them. You can adapt the way that you're communicating depending on the person who's going to listen to you. If you know that peer, colleague, parent is the type of an aggressive individual who will not allow you to be heard in a constructive way, you probably can expect that you'll have to shorten the content that you want to talk to about with them. If you know that it's somebody whose opinions come from lack of knowledge, then probably you should use something that is a good piece of evidence or a statistic or something that can help them understand that the side that you're coming from is not only your side. There is a bunch of people, millions and billions of people being in the same position that you are in. Understanding that audience can basically very roughly be divided to those who are just ignorant and those who lack knowledge is already a great starting position to adapt the narrative that you want to share. I think what you should have in mind is that the ignorant group of people will often build a lot of negative stereotypes in advance about you as an individual. Breaking down those stereotypes can really help lower the impact of their provocation and their stand against you. If you give them the space in which they can express their thoughts and opinions, and if you listen them out, they will probably be a bit shocked with the fact that you gave them the ability to express themselves. They probably, in the starting position, didn't expect for you to be that type of the person who's going to allow them to express themselves because their negative stereotypes trigger them to think that way. I think that's a good starting point when you're thinking about who are you talking to, and asking yourself, what can I do to make sure that that certain type of person hears me out? Second thing, when we talk about hearing the other side out, is ask the questions. It's not like meaningful conversation is not one person yelling their side out and the other person yelling their side out. A good conversation, which results in great conclusions, is a type of conversation in which we express our thoughts and ask questions about other side and their opinions and stands. Don't forget that when you ask the right questions, getting answers from the other side can really help you not only to know more about the person you're talking to, but also learning more about their opinion and where it comes from. Knowing more about it means that you can change it more easily. There is always also the situation in which if you ask the right question and the person doesn't have the answer, that allows you the opening of a space which can actually affect their opinion and which you can use in that sense to easily input a new piece of information that can help change their mind in a meaningful way, which will not offend them in any way. So tip number 2 would be think about the question. When you hear them out, ask away constructive questions without being offensive while allowing them to answer the question. Third thing, and I think that's the hardest part, and I'm going to use a Star Wars reference for it. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. Keep your cool. Stay calm. I know that's super hard to do when you feel attacked and provoked. What might help you is understanding that as long as you're also being super scared and acting very aggressive because you're feeling scared can make the other side feel scared as well, but also feel aggressive as well. The aggressive type of communication is not constructive, it's not effective, and it is going to lead to a verbal war between the two people who are engaging in a conversation. If you end up in a verbal war with your parents or peers or colleagues, you will definitely not get a constructive conclusion out of it. And you will probably prolong the positive outcome for hours, days, or weeks to come. That said, try to breathe in and breathe out. While you're talking about something, while you're expressing your opinion or your stand, think about every single word that you're about to say. Don't jump in front of the herd. Don't jump because you're being overwhelmed and you're being shocked or you're being provoked. Don't allow yourself to be provoked. The moment in which you're being provoked and not being calm at all is the moment when the other side is going to jump up as well. This is the moment in which we lose absolutely any single piece of constructive conversation that we had before. I know that it's super hard to have that in mind, but that part, staying calm and staying cool and allowing yourself to hear out the other side, is the most crucial part of having a meaningful conversation and allowing the open field of a great consensus to be reached. Ultimately, the most important thing is stand up for what you believe in. You know what your opinion is, you know what your stand is, and you are not alone in your stands and opinions. Have that in mind. Think about it every single time when you feel as if you're going to be almost provoked. Think about it every single time when you feel scared to express your opinion. Think about it every single time when you hear something super new or confusing coming from the other side, from the side that you're trying to talk to. You know what your stand is. And as long as you firmly believe in it and you think about it, the easier it's going to be for you to express it in a very constructive and efficient way. And needless to say as well, if you have any other question, you can easily find me on Facebook and I'll be more than happy to help. To wrap it up, I have to apologize to all of you because for a decade-long debater, I'm really bad with in front of camera appearances. So I'm sorry for all the grammar or vocabulary mistakes that I did. And I hope that at least it made you laugh and the bits where I made mistakes. But we're all humans, we all make mistakes and we all learn. And at the end of it, I really hope that this session was super useful for you. And take care, stay safe, and stay at home.